Alright, that should be good. Everything else... Just calibrating a few more small things here. So, I'm a bit of a goober, because this event started... I think tentatively an hour 45 minutes ago. It's 2 rounds. And I missed the first one because, again, goober. But this is a coalition of 3 communities: OFCRA's hub, FnF's hub, and AFI's hub, which we don't cover a lot of, don't see them a lot. It's Arma Finland, but they also do stuff, I think, around similar times as FnF, which is why I don't get to see them that much. But they were having a little bit of a powwow today. I had it on my schedule. I don't remember who scheduled it with me, but I didn't get any follow-up, and I got confused on the start time because there were some other events being coordinated, and I forget that some of them do it with me like a month in advance, so I was getting some November dates confused with some October dates. Because next month on the 22nd, there's going to be an FnF War Games event, and I was getting that start time confused with this Ops start time, so... Messaging a few people that reminded me of this event today. Again, it was on my calendar. It's just I then read a date for a different event and then got the times confused in my mind. So, oof to me. Regardless, today will be very interesting for streaming because I don't have anything going on. It's because today is some catch-up, or at least it was going to be some catch-up, but I've spent most of today working on something for tonight, another horror op. But it's going to be for the 3 a.m. community. It's going to be for Gondor's Australian guys. I built a flesh tunnel. Actually, I built 2 flesh tunnels. And I'm so worried because their performance seems a little shoddy when you spawn them in, but testing them locally, it was fine. But it's another take on that GOC op I did.
Boop.
With no SCP facility this time, this one is going to be more so the openness of those, of that environment with the fogginess and whatnot, but with a more sci-fi feel to it, so it should be pretty good. But we're going to be seeing that in, let's see, 13 hours from now. All I need from Gondor, he's probably asleep right now because, you know, Australia, but I just need to make sure... his settings are being set server-side, and if they are, I want to import them because I need to add some of the, you know, horror aspect settings to it. And then I have a question about some Arsenal stuff because I want them to wear some really cool sci-fi looking armor. It won't give them that much in terms of stat buffs if they get swarmed, but it'll look cooler because I'm trying to emulate something from a certain SCP 5K mission with that dev. Anyway, let's go ahead and put the prediction up, and then I'll go ahead and read back some of your stuff. So we'll have a bet between Blue 4 and Op 4 here. I'll set it for, I think 20 minutes is a little too long. We'll go ahead and do 15. And we'll start going over the match and the point breakdown. From Pickle Sniffers talking about the first thing he hears is Flesh Tunnel. I'm talking about a horror op from something called SCP-610. If you don't know what it is, I highly recommend you look it up. It's a really great read if you read it from the official wiki. But it's a pretty brutal horror thing to work with. And I'm hoping to, after this stream, I'm going to take, I think, my 3rd look at the mission, maybe tweak a few more things, add a few more creepy elements here and there. But I've literally converted 2 buildings, one of them being like a custom prison building, into just like this amalgamation of flesh. Flesh that hates, you know it, exactly. So that should be good. Anyway, let me scroll up real quick. Shadow Spark, thanks for the 27-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the ops. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And Jesse, yes, while I was watching the end of the previous round, I did notice your name. I don't remember who told me about this event. And I never got a follow-up in the days prior. Or maybe I did, and I just completely pushed out, because I've been having a lot of DMs recently. So that's an oopsie on my end. It's just been too much to balance out. Let me make sure I get the map up. There we go. I think it's Niakala. No, or it's Samovo. Fuck. Hold on. Might be... No. No, this is Sumava. I'm right. Yep. Okay. Hold on. Niakala's different. So, let me do a breakdown of how the sides are going to work. In the red zone, it looks like they're switching things here. So I think at the 60-minute mark, the purple zone will be cashed in for 1 point. And then whoever controls the red zone by the end of the game is worth 3 points. And then somewhere in the red zone, there's either 2 or 3 artillery tanks that the defenders, in this case OFCRA now, are going to be defending. Blue 4 have a ambient spawn up there. I think this is a no-pass zone for OP4 to hold here. So Blue 4 are either going to fly in or drive in. I hope it's a fly-in. But this could just be an air assault scenario with this one. So having the outer zone, it's probably going to be at the 45 or 60-minute mark. Inner zone is going to be at the end of the game, and then some artillery tanks. I think there's also a mid section either at the 45 or 60-minute mark for having your side leader alive. Usually, like 99 out of 100 times, both side leaders are going to be alive. So we'll see how things go. Nah, I did not remind you. So it was you. Because I literally cycled through everyone that has given me PvP stuff in the past. Even some new guys like Orthy. So Orthy, NASA, Nemesis, Wombat. Like, I went through all of my known DMs because I had it scheduled on my calendar. And I couldn't remember who I talked to then schedule it on my calendar. But let me go look at my DMs with Jesse. I just need to see it for my own freaking... It was you. Yes, we talked about this at the beginning of the month. Ah, yeah. There's the mod set. Yeah, there's everything by it. Yep, all right, I feel stupid. But at the same time, that was weeks ago. And with no follow-up and with everything I do week to week. And, I mean, this weekend is also crazier because I have one of my 2 yearly 3 a.m.s, because usually the 160th SOR commissioned me for a Halloween op and a Christmas op. So it's just one of those 3 a.m. times. And then, I said this on DayZ last night. I'm just going to briefly talk about it here, but I am starting a part-time job to vary things out. Not because I need the money, but because I'm kind of bored of... No, because I'm also not. Like... There's a part of me that's kind of bored with this whole process, and there's a part of me that also wants to break my reliance on the the constant pay for pain content. If that makes any sense. But I have 2 to 3 years to myself before kids are going to be involved. So I need to still raise a bunch of money that I can, and it's either going to be, do I want to keep burning myself on pay for pain, or do I want to take a part-time job that I can work with my content schedule, which is another key thing. Nothing's going to change in terms of what I do for YouTube, Twitch, Arma, Zeusing, you name it. It's just going to be something I can do at nights around the same time I'm either doing mission dev or video editing. So yeah, those are the 2 updates. I guess one update and then, you know, haha, this stream, I can't remember with what's happened. "5 years going solo." Did I go solo in 2020? I don't remember if it was 2021 or 2020. When did I break away from TSB? I honestly don't remember. I know it's been at least a few years, but I don't think it was 2020. I thought it was more like 2022. Yeah, exactly. Like, because 2020 was COVID. That was when I was still in college and wrapping it up. I think then our graduations got pushed back to, like, 2021. And then I think a year after that was when I broke away from TSB, because at that point, all of the old guard that went and made TSB what it was with me back in, what, 2017 or 2018? Yeah, so we were at that place for about 5 years, but, you know, 5 years is a good chunk of time. A lot of the OG people phased out, and I was left with a bunch of people that were very hostile to me and how I wanted to run things. So I just finally said, screw this, and I just turned my Discord into where I run stuff. Hostile's the wrong word. I'd say not hostile towards me, but it was a hostile working environment because there were a few people in there that wanted things run their way. And as the one that was doing a majority of the work in the development of the missions, it had turned into I had outsourced work for other people to help me with that process, but now those people wanted to do things their way, which conflicted with how I wanted to do things, so I just went, okay. And then I just did things myself, you know? But yeah, no, that's all in the past. Regardless, we're going to wait for us to get pushed through, and then we'll talk about what both sides have. And we'll see how Blue 4 is going to deploy in this. I'll go over who's going to be doing what specifically. But again, artillery tank's the target in the red zone. Green zone's going to be cashed in first. That's only worth like 1 or 3 points. And then red zone's going to be worth 3 points cashed in at the end of the game. And then there's probably a bonus objective to have your side leaders alive at the 45 or 60 minute mark. That wasn't even a good one, Zam. But yeah, no, this weekend's going to be a bit barren on the streaming side. However, Monday, we're going to have 2 Fallout ops, our primary campaign, and then I'm going to start getting into this. The second link in there is the new op document, because I want to kind of dip my toe into an operation on that side, just so I can start thinking about the rest. Wednesday is going to be the Ghost Recon campaign, the next mission on that, and then I'm hoping, 99% sure, I owe an op to a guy named Jesse, who's I guess the one that invited me to this event. We're going to get that run. It's going to be one of 2 sci-fi concepts. I need to go look back at our notes. I haven't looked at it in weeks because I've been so busy with other shit. And then we're probably going to have a one-off. Let me look at next week's schedule, because I'm shooting to run like 7 or 8 missions a week. So we've got the 2 on Monday, the 2 on Wednesday. So that's 4, and then we have Thursday is going to be Pog. That Saturday, after Halloween, I have something for the TOC. That's a big Warhammer community. They want a horror op. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do for them yet, because I can make a horror op in 40k. Sure, done it before. It's really great. A lot of cool spooky things I can do. A lot of cool spooky lore things I can do. They have 60 to 80 person ops. How the fuck do you make a horror op for 60 to 80 people? You know what I mean? Like, I could do it if they all had muskets and they were all like Revolutionary War people, and I could leverage that versus like hordes of zombies. But they have Space Marines, they have giant ass tanks. What are they called? I don't even remember the damn names. Like both the Space Marine ones and the freaking regular human ones. They have bombers, they have fighters, they've got all this other stuff. How do you balance that for a horror op? And then even taking all that away, it's still potentially 80 guardsmen with las guns. There's not much I can do about that. So I've been wrapping my head around that. I could make something immortal, but then they're just going to bitch because they're not able to kill it. Baneblade, that's the term I was looking for. But yeah, I'm struggling. So we have 6 ops there, which means I just need to have 1 or 2 additional. Either I'll run something on Saturday, or I'll run something on Thursday morning or Friday morning. I would love to do something. No, I am doing something Friday morning. I haven't put it on my schedule yet. I need to do that right now, because that's confirmed. There we go. There we go. There's something I want to build, so I got that. So I've got 7 ops scheduled for that week, and then I might do an 8th if I have the time. But it also depends, because that week I'm starting the part-time work, and I just want to see where things balance. Oh, and then there's a few personal things I want to do, but I'm not going to have the time for, and we'll just see how everything goes. I want to avoid jungles, though, because jungles screw up the zombies pathfinding. You need open areas for that. The thing that I've really been experimenting with recently is really dark, foggy weather. That's what we did for a GOC op. That's what we're going to do tonight with the 160th SOR as another GOC style op. I'm excited for it, but you really can't have CQC instances with zombies, because either it's going to be super laggy, or they're not going to path, and they're just going to get stuck there, and it's going to be annoying. All right, let's go ahead and have a look. So, Cold War gone hot. What do we got here? We have a scout plane, I guess, because it's not even armed. We have a bunch of AC-47 Douglases. More commonly known as the C-47 Skytrains. Why did I say AC-47? That's not an AC-47. Liru. And an AC would have the, it means armed if for the A. It would have, like, 3 134 miniguns or something on the side. No, these are just C-47 Skytrains. They're meant to be parachute planes. I completely misspoke there. I'm so sorry. Blue 4 looks like we got M16 A2s? I don't know. The A1 and A2 look very similar, but based on the fact I've got 203, yeah, 203s, that looks like either an A2. Might even... No, the solid stock in the front points to me it's going to be an A2. Regardless, we got some Dragon AT launchers. Yeah, Spooky would be the name for the AC-47. Also, Puff the Magic... It's got a bunch of nicknames like Puff the Magic Dragon. We got some LSW variants. These might be A1s then. It might be a mix of A1s and A2s, because I thought the A1 didn't have a 203 GL model. But regardless, with that, we also had some M60s I saw, like right there. So this is like early Cold War for the US here. Circa just after Nam, or like late Nam. Meanwhile, looking at the OFCRA side, we're going to have Soviet camo. So mainly going to be kits from like Soviet-Afghan War. So we got AK... All right, AKMs. These aren't the AK-74s yet, so it's not late Afghan War. It's early Afghan War. So still got that 7.62x39 caliber. Some RPKs, RPG-7s, some RPG-18 tubes. And we also have 2 MTLBs with the 7.62 machine gun turrets for the commander's seat. I also see some PKMs in play. I'm not seeing any marksmen. Just looking to confirm, but I'm not seeing any magnified optic marksman classes here. Looks like we do have a commander that's going to be Tutmanan, and he's got Kulti as his 2IC. Blue Force commander is going to be Settler, who we see in some ops, and Oh. All right, so instead of artillery, it might be Shilka AA tanks instead, because I don't see any artillery tanks. So these might not be crewable, or they'll be locked or out of ammo or something, but I think these are the 2 objectives that Blue 4 are trying to destroy with their air assault push here. That also potentially prevents them from just landing right on top of the objective, which is pretty funny. But I'm just going to check around the hangars and whatnot, make sure there's like not anything else tucked away in here as the objective. Because otherwise, it's going to be those 2 Shilka tanks are the target. First round was the artillery tanks. We missed that one. We're covering round 2 right now. Again, that was on me. I got the events and times confused. Haha. All right. So 2 defensive MTLBs, and that is it. What I'm wondering is, does Blue 4 have any vehicles to assault with, or is this like outright air assault here? All right, we do have some M72 laws in play as well. They're a little hidden in the backpack texture. They're all also equipping parachutes. They got backpack on chest. All right. So we see them loading up in various planes here. But yeah, we got a forklift tractor, which is also kind of funny. Some people are... You're dead. I don't see any skulls for Blue Force. I'm assuming that was an AI. Okay, because we do have some AI walking up to here. That's kind of funny. But no, this is purely an infantry air assault. OPFOR have some defensive vehicles to work with. However, the Dragon AT is going to insta-kill those lightly armored MTLBs. Having that static 7.62 PKT on those MTLBs is nice, but yeah, they really hate each other. They keep shooting each other in the face. But I'm also not seeing any like Mark 14s or scoped M16s for any marksmen here. So no magnified optics whatsoever. What we have is what we have. Kind of curious. I'd be expecting maybe to see like one of these Cessnas have like a 50 cal pod or something. But then again, if they're fighting a base and they're trying to destroy AA assets, it makes sense that they wouldn't have that, you know? So pay for pain, that's something we do quite often. I'm trying to cut down on it. We had a pay for pain on Wednesday. That was with the Star Wars community. That was a one-off. Might do one again in January. But Twitch told you it was a pay for pain? That's weird. Is it in the title, or did you, like, get a notification? Might do a Christmas pay for pain, but again, I'm trying to step away from pay for pains. You gotta pay. Okay, so that means the go live notification on OBS bugged, and I think it gave you. No, but that was on Wednesday. Or Thursday. We have the weekly. I don't know. Something bugged on OBS. Because it's OBS sending the message, but I guess it didn't detect the text I sent. Because I didn't even type a notification. It should have sent the default one of just saying I went live. Because I didn't know how to type one out for this PvP event. I didn't know what to say specifically, so weird. But I'm going to be honest, I swear to God, like every 1 to 2 weeks, something randomly breaks. Like, a command will break, I type the right command, I have to spam the update button 20 times for it to work. The title will break, even though I have the right one, and I can prove I have the right one by showing a screenshot. But now the notification is breaking. Or Twitch will sometimes shit the bed with the servers and start dropping everyone's frames, even though I'm not dropping any on my end. It's welcome to streaming at least 7 to 10 times a week. Something's going to break. That's like a 1 in 20, something breaks. And it's out of my control at that point. Ah, man. How about that? Anyway, let's go ahead and go over players here. So we got Rigel and PHK. Even though PHK is okay. So I think there's a set of pilots. Kremet on this side as well. NASA, who's my liaison for OFCRA events on Thursday. Killer J, Watson, Ball, pretty good. Twig, King, Rizbo, Zixme, that's going to be a good kill team right there. Whiplash is here. He is the one of the two guys that run events, not events, but PR for the SOG CDLC. There's Jesse. Katz is here. Nekomata. But yeah, it's Whiplash and... Oh, okay, there's Nemesis too. So both of them are here. Cool. They usually like to do PvP when they can. Saga's having a really cool zombie event tomorrow, but I'm not going to be around because I'm doing a double D&D session. I wake up, I have a face-to-face D&D session, and then I go home, and then I have a virtual D&D session. Let's go. That's going to be my break tomorrow from work. I'm so excited for that. But regardless, I don't know. Dream might be going because he's usually invited to those, but if you want to see some cool, like, large-scale zombie stuff on Vietnam, that would be something to look for. All right, op has started. Planes are... absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, guys. You already killed a guy. You... Rip Bozo, am I right? Anyway, op forward, he said, Tuntamatan is commanding. Looks like one plane's taking off. This one might be holding to pick more people up because that one's completely full. I think the most you can put in is 26. Well, we got Emil, Bates. Again, a big chunk of these players are also from AFI, and I don't normally cover AFI events, so that's why some of these names like Rena Bell, but I mean, Cameron Crazy. So I think Op4 might be a mainly AFI team, but we do see players like Tackleberry and Ash, but I know some people in FnF also play AFI, so... hard to say, but this is more of an OFCRA FnF team. So it might be those two guys versus AFI on the Op4 side. So I guess we also have these. So I'd imagine some of these are cargo planes, and they can field in resupply and then transport and then 2 50 cal gun cars. But we have the infantry taking off to deploy first. So that shows me they're going to probably deploy the infantry on the edge of the AO somewhere back here because they're intending for these guys to come back and pick up those vehicles. So we're going to have a lot of downtime to start this off. But we got 2 MTLBs deploying out for Op4. They're sticking a lot of forces around back here to kind of hold things. But I'd imagine one MTLB might try to go to the south to hold these drop zones, and then this one north to try to hold as much as the open area as they can. But it's not going to be really predictable where Blue 4 drops the infantry. I'm going to be honest, if I were to stream any one of the 3 D&D campaigns on Twitch, I'd probably be banned. Objectively. In the 3 D&D campaigns I'm in, we... we're all, like, homebrewed species, but we're all incredibly racist against each other. Which, no, actually, no, speciesist would be the proper term, or speciest, I think is that term. We all are working each other because we're forced to, but some of us hate each other. And I think everyone hates me more than each other because all of them are at least mammals. I'm the only lizard. Which, I'm now expecting the lizard spam emotes, but... we've got that, and then one of them's face-to-face, so we can't stream that. I don't have the equipment. And then the other virtual one... I don't even want to get into, because that gets into other stuff. Anyway, yeah. But no, in that first one, I play as something called a Venoraptor, which is just a Velociraptor with feathers. So we got some really low drops by some people that know how to do this properly, so good on Barrows. I don't see any pancakes, but we did just hear some shots, so maybe someone started engaging the parachutes from range. They actually did a pretty close to the sector drop, which makes me think, are they going to then deploy the vehicles back here, and then they'd have to deploy over here so they can then drive in, right? Or maybe they're just not going to use them at all, which I'm going to be honest, those 50 cal cars are kind of death traps. Because you're just left standing, and even someone with no scope can just mag dump where the gunner is, so it wouldn't be that difficult. So, second plane has not dropped anybody yet. I guess they're dropping further south? They respawned Gregory and put him in here, that's why he has a death. But yeah, it started at 16, now it's at 20, so another 4 people got in. So I assume we're going to see an L-shaped attack right here. This team is probably going to go for the Op4 position here. And these guys, no. L-shape would be smart because you can still support each other in the middle. But these guys might be going, okay, for this open area here, and then this is where they're going to be deploying the vehicles then, because this is a better road to deploy that stuff on. The issue with doing 2 separate attacks like that is you can't support each other. Very low opening by Donald there. I thought he was going to pancake, but no, he made it. Also, really good thing to point out, we just watched, what was it, 25 and 20. 45 people jump out of a plane, and none of them armored into each other and killed each other. So either they had a jump master, and they just ran off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and when you hear your number, you jump out. Or they just got super lucky. So Adam here doesn't realize that he needs to go down and not left or right. Oh, he's going up now. Okay, Adam doesn't know how to parachute, okay? Adam, you got to go down when you jump out of the plane, okay? Not up. Adam's following his own path here. He's, I dare say he's falling up at this rate. You know, he's just circling the AO. Maybe this is the early version of a US Predator drone, and he's just being the scouting drone. So he's using his Mark 1 eyeballs. It's a shame he's looking out the wrong way. If he was looking the opposite way, he could actually start doing some scouting data for the player base here. But he's I swear he's getting higher in the AO. Oh, wait, no, he's going lower. Okay, he might have finally gotten out. And Adam just got deleted from existence. He's not on my roster yet. He's gone. Bro's gone. No, if he was in debug corner, I'd still see him on my roster. But my camera jumped to another unit, which means he got deleted. But he was a player. You can't delete players. Oh, he disconnected. Okay. That was a very late disconnect message. Hey, we're starting Halloween ops early, broski. Where did Adam go? So we got one plane heading back. Zixmi is now heading in the small plane. So I'd imagine these guys are going to land and organize the rest of these guys. Because they're either going to take a 50 cal car or... There was another 5 seats in the plane, though, so they should have taken that to go. But I guess they're not... taking any of the supplies, so they also just jumped in the first place. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Controversial take. I think it's GG. Why is it GG? Look at where Blue 4 is right now. They already have a force right here. They're pushing in. They have this force over here, and it looks like they're holding as if they're waiting for something. Defeat in detail. This half is going to push in, fight the entire OPFOR garrison, take heavy casualties, die. This force is then going to push into the remaining garrison, which is still going to be stronger because they fought a weaker force, fight the rest of the player base, kill them all off, and then OPFOR is going to win. I'd be willing to say there is an 80% chance of that. 20%? Someone in here channels an Interadri Hado bullshit and gets a multi-kill, and I'm going, holy shit, Blue 4 is based. Anything's possible, but right off the bat, this is a pretty bad plan. Now, if this was an L shape and both sides were going in on the same vector and supporting each other in a nice battle line, it'd be different. But this is not the case. Both sides are literally doing 2 separate attacks. It's not going to work the way we think, and it's not going to be good. Calling it how I see it. Now, looks like this team might have to eat my words here. This team has actually halted well ahead of everybody and is now digging a fortification. So Blue 4 might be saving themselves now from doing something like that. Rest of these guys are digging entrenchments too. Okay, so even then, these guys are about 1 kilometer from contact. Their farthest back group is 1 kilometer. These guys, if I were to pull my camera over because it measures from where my camera is, are about 1.5 kilometers from the closest amount of contact. Excuse me. So that's a 500-meter difference, which does give OPFOR 500 meters of Blue 4's momentum or movement room or time, whatever you want to call it, to engage this force, deal heavy casualties, pull back, and then adjust to hit that force. Walking in Arma with your weapon down so you're not consuming stamina, 500 meters would take you about, I think, 5 minutes at most. So it's not that big of a gap, but you also have to consider this is a distance in straight line. You might see these guys like do something wonky in the forest, or they might want to reposition. Plus, they might potentially stop and, you know, do scouting before they push in. It can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And 5 to 10 minutes of actual dedicated PvP combat is a lot of time. You're counting the seconds when it comes to stuff like that. Alright, so they have brought a 50 cal car over. And we have another plane with another 50 cal car. So they're just going to be slowly bringing these in. I didn't realize, but we've got the tractor towers there, so that's what they did. I think they're waiting for the planes to land, and then they're going to potentially take this one off. What's Zixmi doing? He's fucking around. Pupper's doing a sideways landing, which is kind of funny. This is how I can tell Zixmi's bored. Yeah. Oh, those wings are a little close. They're fine. Okay. So I assume Pupper's the other dedicated pilot. He's going to get probably in the other plane with the 50 cal. But Blue 4 is just waiting here to let their cars deploy and then move out. So we're just in a bit of a hold at this point. OFCRA are content on their defensive lines. This just gives OFCRA more time to make more fortifications, but you can do something which is make too many, and then your opponent has all these nice fortifications to work with and bound to and from. So you want to be a little careful about that. There's one plane away. So I think they're guiding Pupper over to the other plane. Mind you, Pupper was handcuffed and shot in the head multiple times before the op began. So I think they lobotomied him just to make him obedient to fly planes for this mission. Anyway, Everick, how you doing? Everick is the head honcho, I would say he's the head honcho mod developer for 3CB. All the really fun things that we get out of 3CB Factions, that is his work. I haven't seen an update for 3CB Factions in a while, Everick. What's up? What's going on? Where's my super niche vehicles, Everick? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. How you doing, buddy? Also, if you notice, they hide all of the assets on the map to help with client-side performance. That's how they're able to field, you know, 100+ clients in a mission pretty easily. But I want to see this plane come out. It's a final testing for a November release. Nice. Anything fun? Is it going to be some really crazy OPFOR AA asset? Can it be something I can use to shoot down player planes? Because I could always use more of those. When Stanley's up, Broadshore? What time is it? Is that the 3 p.m. one? I might not. We'll see. If it's 3 p.m., then I might be able to jump in. We'll see. Because that's in 40 minutes. I think this PvP mission should be finished in 40 minutes, because it's a pretty simple AO. What's the mission, though? I should also ask that before I make any commitments, because if it's going to be something stressful. I'm trying to take it easy this weekend, because my life's about to get super busy for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. But I also need time to develop the 2 missions on Monday, because I haven't even had time to announce them yet. And there we go. Wind is gonna, I don't think, have the time to blow this into the tree line based off of the trajectory. It looks like it's gonna land somewhere over here based off of how it's going forward. I'm a little worried for the second 50 cal car. If they're gonna try to deploy it in this forest, it has to be being deployed down here. Like, there's nothing else that makes sense. BTR 90s, yes! Oh, I've been waiting for BTR 90s. Oh, the wind decided to be a jerk and deploy it in that bush. And break all of its wheels! Oh, I love Arma. Dingo MRAP, so I'm looking forward to. KA-137 drones, I'm not familiar with, but the new weapons. Always looking forward to new weapons. And I'm curious what you're going to expand on the BTR-40s and what you're going to add to them. I'd love to see SPG-9s or even Medices. Not technically the Medice, it would be the Fajot. I have to be really careful with how I pronounce that word, by the way, because Twitch has banned me for that word. But, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I'd imagine the admin's going to put the wheels back on this vehicle. But, yeah, we'll see how things go. RG31 variants, Typhoon, VDVM wraps. Yes! I've also been waiting for the Typhoons. Specifically, I want to see the Typhoon with the quad ATGM launcher on top. There's a Metis BTR 40 edition, absolutely based. And the wheels got fixed, cool. Second plane's coming in. Again, I'm hoping it deploys over that, because otherwise that wouldn't make much sense. Cool. I'll see if there's something I can do to showcase the stuff. Landy's with Medicine or Milan. Nice. All right, can't wait to see it. And November is not that far off. Awesome possum, Everick. Now, this is what I was scared about. So it looks like Blue 4 is now beginning the assault with these guys, and you're about to have a 4-man team walk right into this Op 4 defensive line and die against this Op 4 defensive line. So return fire immediately goes on Pro Hunter, but he ducks down. Gets another kill. Just like that. This might be GG. Because like I said, if we see one group assault and die, and then the other group assault and die, I like the thinking of the RPG, but it was a little short and in the wrong sector, but keep it coming. You have a second shot. And you have a scope. Wait. No, that's awesome. Use the scope against them. Unironically, I'm really surprised we're not seeing someone take the scope off of the RPG and put it on their AK, but these might be the AKMs where you can't have the scope mounts on them for Eastern Optics, because it's the early gen AKs. Because I think it's the AKM-N that can do that, and these are just standard AKMs. Now you got Pro Hunter being super aggressive here. I love to see it. We just heard a PKM fire off. That was by Artor. He gets a kill. And Wiki Quartz has no choice but to pull away because he's throwing his head against a brick wall here. All right, Wiki Quartz is going to run to friendly forces here. They got completely raffle stopped. Look at where Blue 4 is potentially going to push, though. Not a lot of Op 4 defenders here, but it's a lot of open area, and you do have a lot of single Op 4 guys on marksman positions with either AT or auto rifles or machine guns. Auto rifle being the RPK, the machine gun being the PKM. Blue 4, the auto rifle would be the M16A1 LSW with that bipod on the front, and then the machine gun would be the M60. But these guys are still fortifying. So either that 4-man team was just to test the waters to see if Op 4 had any defenses outside of the AO, or they got bored, went in, and immediately died. So, shrug. You know, Everick, I'm actually looking forward to some of those assets because I am going to be doing a Rhodesia campaign relatively soon. And I could use some of those assets to defend Rhodesia. It's going to mainly be Firewatch, but some of those ground assets can also be pretty good. Yeah, think the Congo campaign, but Rhodesia edition. And there's going to be some dedicated vehicle support. I'm excited for it. And they're still doing logistics runs here, so probably to get some additional cars or something. I don't see any cargo in the back of that one, so I don't know where the other car went, but now we've got Op 4 sending a 2-man scouting team around because they're trying to find where more of Blue 4 could potentially be. They're going to run into these Blue 4 defensive positions. But if Op 4 are being super cautious, they might see the trenches beforehand. I say as I watch them sprint into the kill zone of one of the trenches. Great, Demandra. Then you'll have some second-hand historical experience. Interesting idea to throw a smoke grenade. Fire a few shots to hope to get a pick-off. That might be one of the smartest tactics I've ever seen. Because they're a recon team. They run into a garrison. They throw the smoke grenade, take a few shots to see if they can pick somebody off, and then by the time their opponent returns fire, the smoke has billowed out, and it gives them room to immediately pull away. That is some of the smartest PvP tactics I've ever seen. In a while. Unironically. Like, that's ingenious. I wish I could see shit like that more often. Like that, again, since you're just a scouting element, now you know where the enemy is. You potentially got a free kill or two, and you get to walk away scot-free with the info. Genius. Absolute genius. So Blue 4 are now moving up a few additional forces up here. Either these guys sprinted or they used the cars. But then again, with this much downtime, I wouldn't be surprised if they just walked up there. You got a resupply box, and they might be just arming the 50 cal with more 50 cal. Who knows? And then Wiki Quartz is pulled away, but now he's going forward again. Asking too much from my quote-unquote special forces. Yeah, right? All right, so if Blue 4 is able to successfully bring all their forces up here and make a unified assault, there's not a lot of room of OPFOR defending the southern side. It's going to really rely on players like Fila, Harmonious, and Maverick here to get a majority of the kills. We also have Tackleberry in a good spot with an RPK, but honestly, AO-wise, I'm surprised Blue 4 isn't committing more forces on this side because this is all open kill zone. You can see it on the map. It's literally a runway, so yeah, it's going to be all open. So if you try to charge across this, you're going to die if OPFOR has solid defenders. So I'm wondering if this is meant to be like a support team, which I guess makes sense. This is why the 50 cal cars are down here. Okay, the second one got down here. I didn't notice. And I guess the rest of the infantry then join up with this group because they were here for security of those vehicles. And they're going to do a sideways assault with the 50 cal cars supporting from the open ground. And with the lack of OPFOR defenders on that side, that's going to create little areas that Blue 4 can bridgehead into. And unless we see the OPFOR shooters do a lot of damage, this could turn into something. This could turn into something pretty major. Ah, it sounds great, Everett. Can't wait. Gonna be honest though, OPFOR made a really sick battle line on this bridge to watch the west. And then they've got a little bit of security on the northeastern side. That's pretty fucking impressive. So Blue 4 just used one of their Dragon Launchers to do a long-range strike on one of OPFOR's objective vehicles, because they've got a really great hill right there to overwatch. OPFOR didn't think to guard it, and now they have a really good striking position on both vehicles. The issue now is the cook-off of this vehicle is now blocking view of that second vehicle, so they're going to have to wait for the cook-off to end, which could take a few minutes, and give OPFOR time to send a counter-attacking force up there. But that means they're going to send forces away from the defense that might just play right into Blue 4's hand. And you see a massive amount of advancement coming from down here on the south. Looks like Wiki Quartz was sent down again. He dies. This might just be a picket to keep OPFOR right here so Blue 4 can bypass or even do a flanking action on that battle line. Again, I don't know if it's intentional, but Blue 4's playing this very intelligently. And I'm happy to see it because I was really worried we were just going to see a two-part attack in two separate areas and then just watch them get defeated in detail. So I love seeing these tactics here. Now the question is, oh, okay, so NASA gets spotted, killed by Crazy in a burst, but now we got all these Blue 4 guys coming in. Immediate counteraction by Barrows. Great grenade, goes right on top of Crazy. He's dead. He gets a second grenade thrown, but it's in the wrong area. Camrad now looking over. He's got a PKO and he's got grenades. He could do some serious damage to the grouping up of this Blue 4 element, but only if he knows of their existence. We see some long-range shots from Camrad here. He gets a pick-off on Nemesis's battle buddy. That might have been Whiplash. Yeah, because they normally play together, so he goes down. Camera trying to poke his head out. And this is where it might fall apart too, because the time to kill is really low because there's no body armor on either side. So people die very quickly. So you have to get the jump on people, which is why the defenders have such a big advantage. But that's why it's smart for the attackers to be sniping some of the objective vehicles this early on. But the Rhodesia campaign will start when 2 of the following 3 campaigns I'm going to list off end. The Fallout Caravan campaign, the POG Pay for Pain campaign, and the Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter campaign. When 2 of those end, I will then start doing Rhodesia, because I'm only doing 2 of those large projects at the same time. So Jonathan here is being screwed by hitboxes. He did just pick up 2 kills, though, but that last kill on Cuboid, he just wasn't able to get. So now Cuboid's trying to do a smoke charge. Gets a grenade, but it goes right in front of the trench. He's now charging with his gun. He's making these guys pull away because they're now under threat, and he's actually getting them to rout. Grenade's thrown right on top of the trench, but Cuboid's smarter than that. He throws another one to flank. Depso also coming up on the opposite side. Got another firefight right here as Blue Force trickling in. But now what OPFOR needs to do is pull all of their reserve forces back and start making internal defensive lines in the purple zone. It's going to take them 5 or so minutes. If they're able to do it, I think Blue 4 is going to be stopped in their tracks because Blue 4 have so many open areas they still have to come over. But Blue 4 still need to maintain this aggression. But look at this backup trench OPFOR dug right here. Creates another kill zone, but they're not watching it. Wait, Jonathan might just spotted Depso. If you can tell Evergarden to stand up. They could have caught Depso in the open there. Depso has no idea he's got a fortified position behind him. Jonathan might be running out to try to get him. Oh, Depso's turning around. He might notice that movement. Another thing is the fence perimeter of this compound. There's only very specific places you can breach it. And if you can just camp those, you're golden. All right, we see some of these guys getting hit there. They got a bit of defilade cover. I think that's Whiplash's body. Depso comes up and finds somebody. No, Jonathan just pulled back into the compound. Okay. Depso is going to catch Evergarden in the back. Gets the kill. So OPFOR are quick to rout, but it looks like there's a bit of a delay because their front line right here hasn't pulled away. This flanking squad also hasn't pulled away. This is giving Blue Force some room to maneuver in. We see OPFOR trying to set up a flank defense out here instead of just pushing in to play defensive on the objective. That is taking away more of OPFOR's manpower. Depso gets a second, or is that Cuboid? Nope, that's Depso. Cuboid gets into a one-on-one against Martin. 2 smokes go out. Cuboid sees him as the smoke was billowing out, and as the smoke fully billowed out, he starts spraying in that direction and gets a lucky hit on Martin. Again, no body armor, so 1 or 2 hits is all it takes to get you knocked out or even killed. Depso, meanwhile, has gotten 2 kills. He is moving into the center, trying to find a way to breach this area. Spots Hart, gets the knockout on Hart. Cuboid flanking around, can't find Martin in the smoke. Finds him, pushes up behind. All right, cool. So we have some Blue 4 heavy hitters here doing a great job picking off who they can. Grenade gets thrown. It bounces in the back area by Zoop. It's another PKM player. He's on 2 kills. Depso runs up, double taps Hart. Beautiful grenade throw. I think Cameron's dead. Lucky son of a bitch. He backs away further to avoid more grenades. The fun thing about people corner camping is if you want to check if you got them all, go to the edge of this and stick your barrel through. And if he starts pre-firing your barrel, then you know, and you just throw another grenade. Or Or you can be Zoop and just completely one-tap the Chuckle Fuck. All right. Go Zoop. All right, meanwhile, this Blue 4 team is now trying to flank around because I guess this defensive team was able to kill off too many of them. That's unfortunate. And I'm a little worried about the numbers right now because despite OPFOR seeming to inflict a good amount of early casualties, Blue 4 are bouncing back.
Saw chat, Liru. Hey buddy, did you by chance res that last message I sent you? Evil maniacal laughter.
Devour, thanks for the 51-month resub. No, I didn't. Dragon, also to your message, no, I didn't. I swear I'll get to those later today. All right? Very busy. Nonetheless, again, thank you for the 51-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you had a nice kick out of this scenario. Speaking of. So now OPFOR is coming in. Blue 4 have stolen some of the fortifications OPFOR have made and are now using them against them. We have 2 KIAs right here on OPFOR. This is a really bad situation for OPFOR here because they tried to follow Blue 4 in. And now they're having to fight their own fortifications that they made. Because Blue 4 have now crewed them. And that team, I think just took, what, 3 KIAs? And no, 4 KIAs and a knockout. And that grenade is... Oh, I thought it would double tap. That entire group. Goddamn. Ramio walks in. Fetty, is he going to check his right? Oh, he almost... Wait. Oh. Fetty. Fetty. Yes. Gets the kill. Manages to knock out Depso, but... Oh, we don't have a medic around, so Depso might actually be down for the count here unless he's super lucky. But Depso on 5 kills. Blue 4, meanwhile, we have a picket team seeing more OPFOR maneuvering on the outskirts here. Blue 4 now re-attacking this fortified position. Scrolling out, we still have not even a squad, it's just a few guys in that MTLB. Let me look at the skull count here. Yeah, Blue 4 do not have a lot of skulls compared to OPFOR here. It's still not a lot, but... Wow, Fetty spots Bro Hunter as he comes up. That's his 2nd kill. Now you're having more combat all around. Beautiful GL right there. It knocks Lurch out, but I think he just got one super close to Blue 4 as well, killing one. So a GL trade right there. Fetty, I think, just got taken out by some OPFOR pushing, but now these OPFOR are getting immediately flanked. And taken out. Double taps by Cats to make sure he gets the kills. Good call there. I don't know. I feel like if OPFOR were to pull the rest of their forces and hold the red zone, and again, utilize their big, these big avenues of fire and force Blue 4 to come to them, I think it's a slam dunk. But we've seen Blue 4 get a big foot in the door, take out OPFOR that were coming back in. This is still truthfully anyone's game. I think Blue 4 have a very slight number advantage, but that could change on a dime. Everett's sending me a bunch of photos of stuff he's making for the November release. That is dope. That KA-137 drone also looks pretty dope, not gonna lie. That I want to use in bulk. So I assume... I haven't seen any bandages around Depso, so he hasn't been stabilized. Blue 4 now taking out a few additional OPFOR that are maneuvering around this position. Looks like over to the east. Lurch, I can't tell if he just fired AT. I don't think it was him. I think it was Blue 4 shooting at him. But the easternmost group of Blue 4 has mainly pulled back. You see Kajonovic is the only guy still alive from that area. So this group getting counterattacked under pretty heavy threat. But Blue 4 have the number advantage in this middle area. But it's not about the kills, it's about the points. But I think OPFOR have more numbers in the zone compared to Blue 4. And then OPFOR are the only ones with numbers in the red zone. Both side leaders are also still alive. I just don't know when that cash-in point is. I'm waiting for the announcements on the bottom left. So this Blue 4 Remnant is now going to push in on this flank. Not a lot of OPFOR to defend, but I'm going to be honest, it only takes 1 or 2 OPFOR guys in good positions to pick off a lot of dudes that are on the move. So this, no idea how it's going to play out. That could be game-changing. That could seal the deal for OPFOR and give a Blue 4 victory, but... Bro's dropping a resupply, a set of resupply for Blue 4 right in the middle. Not a bad idea. We see GL's now going onto that building because that's where they took machine gun fire from. Defso's still knocked out. He's going to slowly bleed out. 4 GL's coming in this building, causing OPFOR to take cover. So that OPFOR marksman, technically machine gunner died, or auto rifleman, that's an RPK. Looks like they were firing over here. I'm trying to see if there's any dead bodies, but it might just be blind suppression. We do have a dead guy right here, though, so that might have been one of the guys he picked off. AT was even fired into this building. I think it was genuinely part of the plan to resupply Blue 4 at that position, but there's just not a lot of Blue 4 left. Looking at the numbers, it looks like it's turned around, and now you've got the numbers leading to OPFOR here. Blue 4, I'm really surprised I'm not seeing Kajonovic hear that vehicle and then try to crawl up and take it. When I say that, I mean, like, you know, kill the people that are stealing it. Well, there goes the corporal. As soon as he turns around and notices them and then tries to sideways sprint, he just gets sprayed the fuck down. Classic. We just saw one of the Blue 4 guys get killed through the buildings here. OPFOR Command has a kill. Settler staying in the back line, though, for those extra points. Malboro here's landed the plane here. It's Rigel and his co-pilot. He has -2 kills, by the way. Ain't that funny? No one expects a plane flank. Unfortunately, he hits a bush. Breaks away, but now he's attracted Urbo's ire. I'm gonna laugh if they dismount and immediately get killed. It's not open enough. They only have handguns. Looks like Kajonovic went up here and got killed off. Yep, so there's his body. He was able to kill the machine gunner here, but he got jumped. This Blue 4 group has bypassed a lot of OPFOR. They're now coming in from the north. Now Blue 4 have the number advantage in the red zone. But I can't tell who has the purple zone advantage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 1, 2. So it's 11 to 15 in the purple zone, but that number is always going to change because you're going to see Blue 4 and OPFOR picking each other off. And then the two Blue 4 that were right here just got picked off by these two Op 4. I think another AT launch just came onto this Shilka here. Wasn't enough, though. It's only damage. We need to see another shot. And never mind, it cooks. So Blue 4 have all those points. So Op 4 can only win by basically having the purple zone in the red zone. So all the remaining infantry need to go in, but Blue 4 have a big amount of infantry ready to infiltrate the purple zone as well. This means I'm going to have to be here for the entire game, which means I'm probably not going to make Stanley's thing, but that's okay. All y'all that are my players can go and enjoy that. And I'm just going to be working on more mission dev for tonight and for the Fallout missions on Monday. Nuclear Moose gets 1 kill and a pick-off. Surprised he's not throwing grenades. They see him through the bush, though, as he's trying to sidestep away. But 3 kills right here. Good negation of the Blue 4 element here. Does he get a 4th? Finally gets spotted through the bushes and taken out. But yeah, killing 4 guys off of there and, again, preventing them from entering the purple zone is huge. Interesting. Anyway. Op 4 trying to send a few people behind the main Blue 4 group. Blue 4 need to just start clearing buildings at this point. Hone in on where they hear AKM fire and go from there. Rigel PHK breaching. Urbo's going to be holding. By all accounts, he should win this fight. Chucklehead was on his radio, and PHK just failed at throwing a grenade. PHK gets flanked and killed off by Bodhi. Op 4 now counterattacking the blue. Hold on. GL goes out. It was a smoke GL. It ricochets. So he's trying to smoke to cover Artor. I'm going to be honest. Oh, no. Solomon is a medic, so he could get him up. But very risky to do that when you're fighting so many dudes. You got to secure the area before you do any medicating. Luckily for him, though, Artor wakes up. Oh, okay, that was a smoke. I was about to say, if that's a frag. All right, Zixme's here. One of the best PvP players in the world. Let's see if he can make a difference. I'd laugh my ass off if Echo just... Echo misses a GL. Hits the tail, and Zixme's just spinning around. With that, Blue 4 lost a big amount of their manpower. We just saw another Blue 4 member get killed off. This is the 3rd firefight I've seen this Op 4 group be in to hold off Blue 4's Southern Assault. And now I think Op 4 have more people in the zone than Blue 4 here. Settler is dead before that 2-point cash-in could happen for the side leaders. So unless Tunt gets killed, the points scored from those Shilkas is going to be moots. Nekomata gets taken out. Solomon, I can't tell. Okay, we have 2 people down right here. Artur gets the double tap. Katz engages him through the window, but looks like the windows obscured some of the bullets. And Katz gets killed off by Solomon. And literally all of Blue 4's dead. I might be going to that op after all. Can Zixme, as a pilot with only... Oh, no. Oh, he's stacked. Can Zixme channel his inner Adriano and win the match for Blue 4 by subsequently killing all of Op 4? Here, actually put on this one. This is the saucer. Thank you so much. Bloodwing is saying my English is not good. My English is mid at best. Anyway. Look, it's only my first language, okay? I'm not that good at it. So we got more suppression coming out. One of the 5 gets knocked out. Broer, thanks for the 51-month resub. You say, owie, you were playing, right. Nonetheless, thanks for reminding me about this event. Otherwise, I would have missed it. Hope you keep enjoying the operation, so we get a nice kick out of this scenario. Zixme, Dragon. Zixme, you missed! You fool! Well, I think we're GG for Blue 4 here. Is Stanley's op over at Pog? Because I can go slide into that real quick, because this is an op 4 victory. Zixme's head is not in the game today. Just gonna sip on this cappuccino here. All right, so we did have an op 4 guy trying to flank around. Donald got the kill there. I got a few people watching rear. Oh, that GL was so close. I was hoping it would just hit these 2. Oh, that would have killed DOS, but it was a smoke. All right, Zixme check. Zixme is dead. How many kills did one of the best Arma 3 players in the world get? 1. He got 1. Great. I can't even see where he killed him. I think Zixme's losing his edge. I think he's actually taking a more passive life now, because what channeled his ability to PvP was his hatred for the Polish. And I guess he's just mellowed out over the years. Anyway, it looks like an MTLB tried to play chicken with an AC or C47. And I think the people in the MTLB lost and died. So we got that now. And the rest of these 2 Blue 4 players are just going to... I don't want to speak bad of them because they just have a bad hand here. They're literally fighting like a 10-to-1 ratio of players. They're half expecting him to yell at me. I hope he does. He needs to be reminded of why he's a good PvP player. Similar to I need to be reminded why I spend so much time running daycare, Zeusing missions for people. All right, I'm going to get out of here in 2 minutes and then go jump on to Stanley's mission because, we have the time. One of you just narked to him that I might be showing up and just sent me all the info. All right. Guess we're good. Unironically, I think Blue 4's best choice in assaulting this is they can't go forward. They get a hail of bullets. So they'd have to pull around and use the forested out area over here and then come in from like the north to kill these guys. It's going to be a long, tedious, annoying process, but that's the only way they could do it. Because the other 2 squads of Blue 4 that tried to assault this position did the exact same thing they're doing right now and got wiped. Einstein's definition of insanity. The wounded guy is killed. The guy working on the wounded guy is killed. And now it's Donald who has a -1. He's killed more friendlies than enemies today. Can Donald with a J in front of his name? Oh, he does get a kill with the grenade, actually. 1. So he should be at 0 now, right? Never mind, it didn't count. Okay. Lurch, finish him. Never mind. Darkin gets him. That's GG. All right, I'm going to go jump over to Stanley's thing. I won't put the chat in emote only. Instead, I will be... Sorry, I was just reading what Devour told me. There's a mod out there that lets you have infantry do, like, charges, and Devour was just telling me that it was working out. So, they had control of the center airfield, their side leader was alive, and they had control of the wider airfield too. So that would have given a total of 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Both Shilkas were destroyed, so that's 4 points to Blue 4. Final score is going to be 6-4 to Blue 4. The reason we don't see other points cashed in, though, is because we didn't even get there in the time effort. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in a few minutes for Stanley's op. Cheers, guys. Let me pay out the prediction before I forget. Otherwise, have a good one. Wow, ops, upset too, because the point value. Anyway, wow. Oh, I have to end the stream. Huh, silly me.